Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention as Governor Andrew Cuomo takes the first ceremonial drive on the Kosciuszko Bridge in FDR's 1932 Packard. Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the center of the bridge for an official ribbon cutting, joining the boroughs of Queens and Brooklyn. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Queens Borough President Melinda Katz, Assemblymember Joe Lental, Maciej Golubiewski, Consul General of Poland in New York. And ladies and gentlemen, now please welcome Governor Andrew Cuomo. Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the stage for a presentation of the colors and singing of our national anthem by the Francis Lewis High School Army Junior ROTC and Patriot Choir.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red rockets, guns bursting in air through the night, that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the
Forward! March! You can't lose Brooklyn.
Ladies and gentlemen, now please welcome Queens Borough President Melinda Katz.
Good afternoon. You got to give it to the governor of the state of New York. He likes to do nothing small. We are so proud to be here today. Good afternoon. It's my pleasure to welcome you to the opening of the new Kosciuszko Bridge. This, I almost got it. I'm working on it. Before we begin, I would like to recognize some special guests that we have with us today. It takes a lot of people to get to where we are right now at the opening of this amazing, amazing bridge. So please allow me to acknowledge Senator Martin Dillon, Assemblymember Eric Dillon, Assemblymember Maritza Davila, Assemblymember Joanne Simone, Councilmember Majority Leader Jimmy Van Bramer, Councilmember Stephen Levine, Councilmember Robert Cornegie, Councilmember Rory Lanceman, Councilmember Barry Grudenchik, Steve McGinnis, President of the New York City Carpenters District Council, the men and women of the city that built this city. Joe D'Amato, Business Manager, Laborers, Local 731. Marek Skulomowski, President of the Kosciuszko Foundation. Elizabeth Luskin and Gary Kessner, Long Island City Partnership, Ken Rudzes-Swick. Maspeth Federal Savings, Bishop Mitchell Taylor. Chair and District Manager of Board 2. Community Board 1, Community Board 5, so many civic and business association and leaders from Queens and Brooklyn. We are, ladies and gentlemen, we are a unique and we are an amazing city. And we are growing every single day. We are a lesson in history in the city of New York. But that history that we teach the rest of the world, it requires leaders with vision. Leaders with vision that will protect our history's grandeur and move us as a city into the future. We have that proud son of Queens in Governor Andrew Cuomo. This is a governor that has never forgotten where he comes from in the city of New York. He's invested in our airports, on our roads, in our future, and today has taken one giant step towards making sure that the future generations, those that we will never meet, have an infrastructure that they can count on in the city of New York. Most importantly, this governor has realized that this project must be driven by our community. And I am proud as the Borough President of Queens that at every step of the way, the community has been involved in this project and our concerns have been taken into account step by step. So Governor Cuomo, on behalf of the people of Queens, on behalf of those in Brooklyn and the entire city of New York, we thank you for your vision, we thank you for your leadership, and for those of us that drive this bridge every day, we thank you for alleviating this great traffic that we all sit in every single day. And now it is my honor to welcome another champion for the city of New York, our great assemblyman from Brooklyn, Joseph Lenthal.
Okay. I lost my sash, but I'll have to pick it up. I lost my sash, but that doesn't matter because is Brooklyn in the house? Yeah. Is Brooklyn on the bridge? Yeah. How about this bridge? Is it? What do you think? Come on. So, I just want to say one thing before I talk, and that is, it's pretty clear what this governor is all about, isn't it? He builds bridges, not walls. This is really an exciting day for Greenpoint and for all of New York City and New York State. As you know, the history of the old Kosciuszko Bridge is intertwined with the history of Greenpoint. This bridge, originally called the Meeker Bridge, or the Meeker Avenue Bridge, helped alleviate traffic on our local streets and served as a major artery connecting growing neighborhoods on both sides of the bridge. When it was renamed afterward to become the Kosciuszko Bridge, the significant Polish community in Greenpoint celebrated the recognition of one of their own, Tadeusz Kosciuszko, who, by the way, Governor, was an engineer who probably could have built this bridge were he still alive. But instead, he engineered the victory in the Revolutionary War. But this bridge soon became a sore spot for the neighborhood. It was quickly overwhelmed by cars, and for decades it has been a traffic trap. Drivers hate to cross it, and nearby residents, because I know I'm one of them, Governor, complain about the pollution and the noise emanating from it all the time, night and day. But today, we are turning a new page. This beautiful bridge is once again a bridge that Greenpoint residents can be proud of. It is a state-of-the-art crossing that will ease congestion and have a direct impact on the quality of life of our residents, and it will. And we would not be here today were it not for the leadership of our governor, Governor Andrew Cuomo. The governor heard our concerns in our communities and delivered for our residents. He pushed to accelerate the schedule. Have you ever seen a bridge built faster than this? I haven't. So I want to thank Governor Cuomo, and I want to thank everyone who made this day possible, from our community, great community here in Greenpoint, to our partners in Queens, and to especially the Polish community in Greenpoint that loves this bridge. And now that gives me my next honor, because I'm privileged to be able to, and honored to introduce the Polish Consul General here in New York, Governor Maciej Golubieski.
Good afternoon, everyone. Dzień dobry Państwu. Polacy z Queens, Polacy z Brooklynu. Witamy Was tutaj na naszym moście. It's great to be here with all of you. And thank you, Councilman, for such a great introduction. You've been a real friend to the Polish community. We all know that. And Governor, you as well. Thank you so much for making it happen with such pomp and circumstance. This has been great. And President Katz, thanks again for your words and all the introductions. I can think of no better way to welcome this new season than with a brand new Kosciuszko Bridge. We have a spring coming. And again, I would like to thank the governor for all his hard work on this. The governor does not just talk about building the new New York, he actually gets it done. This is the first new bridge built in decades. And all I can say is, wow. Look at that. This is also, of course, a tremendous moment for the Polish community in New York, which I see is represented here quite numerously. We have Polish folk dancers, we have the Scouts, Czuwaj, we have the Poles from all around the two great communities of Queens and Brooklyn, and the Polish Americans are proud to be part of the American nation, and I'm very happy to be here for them as well. As you know, this bridge was renamed in 1940 to commemorate the Polish-born Revolutionary War hero Tadeusz Kosciuszko. At the time, the bridge served as a vital connector between Brooklyn and Queens, designed to accommodate increased traffic and the countless visitors anticipated for the 1940s World's Fair in Flushing Meadows. During the naming ceremony, Tadeusz Kosciuszko was praised for his outstanding contributions to this country. Kosciuszko was a prince of tolerance who stood up for the rights of European serfs and specifically African slaves, for whose education he designated all of his fortune in his last will. His dear friend, Thomas Jefferson, whom you all know, called Kosciuszko the purest son of liberty I have ever known. In recognition of his activity for the sake of peace, independence, and democracy, the equality of people regardless of their skin color or religion, he is considered a national hero in Poland and in the United States. Za wolność naszą I waszą, for freedom yours and ours, as he liked to say. Former Attorney General John Bennett said of him, Tadeusz Kosciuszko exemplifies the true spirit of America. He was a stranger from another land, but he was at home here among lovers of freedom. He hated persecution. And I think that it is really the true spirit of today. The Kosciuszko Bridge is a symbol of the critical link between our diverse communities and all that New York represents. It is a celebration indeed of how progress can be achieved while holding true to our values and purpose. We also have here with us two outstanding individuals who exemplify the very best of New York, and they are Bob and Linda Ollis. Bob and Linda, hello. Bob and Linda are the family of Army Staff Sergeant Michael H. Ollis, who tragically lost his life in Afghanistan, protecting a Polish soldier during an attack on their base in 2013. Michael is considered a hero in Poland, and I know he's considered a hero here in America too. It is my great honor to celebrate this milestone with all of you, but most of all to rejoice in the great diversity of this state and its long-standing friendship with Poland, a friendship that's exemplified right now by the presence of U.S. troops on the Polish soil, of which we're extremely grateful. Now, without any further ado, it is my pleasure to welcome a national voice for progress, an exemplary leader, the 56th Governor of New York, Andrew Cuomo.
Good afternoon. What a great afternoon this is, isn't it? First, let's give a big round of applause to Consul General Golubevsky. It's a pleasure to be with you. Thank you very much for being here. We have our outstanding Madam President from Queens who's doing a great job, a good friend of mine, Melinda Katz. Let's give her a big round of applause. A great representative from Brooklyn who's been a phenomenal assemblyman for many, many years. He's a role model for all the newcomers to the assembly. He's a hero of mine, Joe Lento. Let's give him a round of applause. To all the other assemblymen and senators who are here and city council people, thank you very much for being with us. Let's give them a round of applause. Building a bridge is not easy, and it's not fast, and doing it on time, doing it on schedule, doing it on budget means that you have to work at it every day. And we had a phenomenal, dedicated team that were not just going to build a bridge, but they were going to get it done right. I want to thank the whole team at DOT, especially Commissioner Driscoll and Phil Eng and Bob Adams. Let's give them a round of applause. I want to thank Kelly Cummings from my office, who's done a great job, and Larry Gilman from Skanska and the entire Skanska team. Let's give them a round of applause. And the men and women of the Building Trades Union, the best workforce on the globe, who built this bridge. So welcome all to the new Kosciuszko Bridge. Now the old structure, 78 years old, did its job well, but it is structurally and operationally obsolete, and it has been for a long time. It was designed for 10,000 cars. We now have about 180,000 cars going over the bridge, believe it or not. And as you heard, the delays have been legendary, and the delays have been legendary for a long time. I'm a native Queens boy, born and raised. My mother was a Brooklyn girl, born and raised. So I spent my childhood going back and forth across the bridge with our family. The first time I heard my father use expletives was on this bridge. Everything was about the timing of the traffic on the bridge, and it was literally any time of day the traffic would back up, and it was really a bottleneck for the entire city and caused a lot of inconvenience for a lot of people. This is one of two spans. When the second span is finished, the delays will be reduced 65%. Think how much time and fuel is going to be saved. We renamed the new bridge the Thaddeus Kosciuszko Bridge, both as a tribute to the man who, as you heard from the Consul General, was an extraordinary military leader, an engineer, a friend to America, an inspiration during the revolution. But we also renamed the bridge in honor of the Polish community that has made a great contribution to this state, and we thank them for all they've done to make America and make New York the state it is. I drove up in Franklin Delano Roosevelt's 1932 Packard. It is the first time the car has been used in 30 years. And the 1932 Packard is a special car. It is a special car. It's been in the museum all this time. But I brought it today to commemorate today and to bring the spirit of FDR to this bridge. FDR had a tremendous positive energy. And FDR was all about what we can do. He never took no for an answer. He believed in New York, he believed in New Yorkers, he believed in the New York spirit, and he believed that there was nothing that we couldn't do. Remember, it's New York that built the longest bridge ever built with the Brooklyn Bridge, and then built the longest bridge ever built with the George Washington Bridge, and then built the longest bridge ever built with the Verrazano Bridge. And that spirit is what made New York, New York, and that's the spirit that we have to rekindle in this state. Now, we didn't just build a bridge. We built a beautiful bridge. This is the first cable-stayed bridge built in New York. Towers of 180 feet, almost as tall as the Statue of Liberty. We believe that she has an elegant line to her. And as a Queens boy who was from the outer borough of Queens, Brooklyn is an outer borough. They never tell you what's the inner borough, but they only tell you what's the outer borough. I believe that Queens and Brooklyn deserve a beautiful bridge, and a bridge that graces the Queens and Brooklyn skyline, and that's exactly what this bridge is going to do. This evening, you're going to see this bridge illuminated with LED lights in a multicolor fashion. It's the first bridge that's going to be illuminated that way, but we're going to be illuminating all the bridges in metropolitan New York the same way. The lights will then be choreographed among the bridges, and we think it's going to be a really spectacular light exhibition, and it'll be an international tourist attraction, but we're going to start it right here on the new Kosciuszko Bridge this evening. And it's just the beginning. When you look at this bridge and you look at these towers and you look at this success, remember that there is nothing that New York can't do when we put our mind to it. We said we were going to get the 2nd Avenue subway built, and we were going to get it built on time, and we did. We said we were going to build a new Tappan Zee Bridge, and we were going to get it done on time, and it's on budget. We're building a new John F. Kennedy Airport, a new LaGuardia Airport, a new Penn Station. We're redoing the Queens Midtown Tunnel, the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel, the Tri-Borough Bridge. $100 billion in construction. The most ambitious construction program in the history of the state of New York. Why? Because for too long, we have been relying on the legacy of our grandparents. Ask yourself, when was the last time we built a bridge or a tunnel or an airport? Ask yourself, when was the last time this nation built a new airport? You haven't had an airport built in the country in over 20 years, not since the Denver airport. If you want to continue to grow, if you want to continue to lead, then you have to continue to build. because all the other states, all the other cities around the globe are doing it. And what made New York, New York was the ambition and the drive that said, we can build the first, the biggest, the best, and we're going to do it over and over and over again. And that's what this bridge is going to signify. And it is just the beginning, my friends. We are going to build a new New York, because at the end of the day, it's very simple. Our fundamental obligation as citizens, as parents, is to leave this place a better place, to use our time on this earth to help other people and to leave the earth a better place. Every religion says that. Every philosopher says that. We're here to better society. And as government officials, I know I speak on behalf of my colleagues in the Assembly, the Senate, and the City Council when I say, when we are done and we turn this state over to our children, it is going to be a better state for our having been here. It's going to be a stronger New York, a cleaner New York, a fairer New York, a safer New York than the New York we inherited. That is our trust and our stewardship as government officials, as citizens, and as parents. And you're going to be proud of the new New York that we hand off to our children. Thank you, and God bless you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please now turn your attention to the blue drape on stage for a special unveiling ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's program. Thank you for attending.